Hello, this week's one card reading is that of the fox, and the fox is one of my all-time favourite creatures of the entire world. It is absolutely beautiful. Now I need you to take a moment to sit and view this card and find out what in the illustration stands out to you in it, because for one person it could be one thing, for another person it could be another thing. So I'll let you sit for a moment with it, and a number of things can stand out to you too. It doesn't have to be just one thing. So take a moment, have a look what stands out to you in the card of the fox. In Gypsy cards, we read from left to right, past to the future. And the fact that this fox is looking back to the past, if you're actually drawn to the eyes of the fox, it reminds us it's time to move on, and move on especially from situations that have had untrustworthy bases. So if somebody has done wrong to you in the past, it's time to move on, because the fox is always an energy of being cunning and being manipulative too. So if somebody in the past has given you a one-over and it's still hurting, it's time to move on, especially because this year is coming to a close. It's time to get that new fresh energy and stop focusing in on the past hurts and past traumas and things like that, because the fox needs to hunt and the fox needs to move on. And we'd like to see the fox looking in the forward moving direction, not that past way. So if you're drawn to the fox's head, face, the position it's looking in, its eyes, it's time to look forward to the future, because otherwise, as I say, it's going to be a dead-ass 2015 if you don't do that. So really focus in on your goals that are coming up for 2015. We don't want to have going around in circle adventure for next year. We are also seeing this tree overhead of the fox. Some people are drawn to the tree. The tree is a very dead-looking tree. This basically means a lot like when we trim the bushes and things like that in our gardens, that new shoots can come through and new life and new growth. And when we let the tree get out to this sort of spindly state, nothing really comes of it, or it gets staggered, and it sort of represents life in a stasis, and we don't want to do that either. That shows a stagnation energy if you're drawn to that. It's a very seasonal image too, so it reminds us to be patient for things to come to us. Often someone like me, who is a little bit impatient, tries to push things to move them quick, and it doesn't always work like that. Things will come in their time, so basically chill out, let it come to you, and you'll be a-okay, fine and dandy. And if you need to cut the dead weight off your life, do so. Just remember, just envisage that trimming of the beautiful bonsai, for example, or the beautiful tree that you have, just to make the new growth come through and the new foliage. Basically just focusing in on your life and finding ways to trim it back, to sacrifice in order to get a new energy and new opportunities to come through. So just think of it that way, just new life coming through the new shoots. If you are drawn to the rooster on the fence, which a lot of people don't even see, but the more observant people see the rooster, it is one of being watchful, but don't be paranoid, that's for sure. Be careful of the situations and things around you in your life, but don't go to the point of thinking this person's doing this and this person's doing that. It's just being mindful of energies around us. So if somebody feels like they're pulling a Swiftie over you, or just being a little bit deceivious and deceitful, just keep watch. It is one of not striking and coming crazily bounding towards the fox and going, hey. It's one of just sitting back and also letting other people make mistakes. If you're suspicious of somebody doing something, then they will muck up, they will fall themselves. And it's basically like sitting there getting ready with your popcorn and watching the show, that kind of thing. It's a non-action card, so when you're drawn to that particular facet of it, it's one of not going crazy like a crazed rooster at 5 o'clock in the morning. None of that. It's just patient, watchful. Look at its posture. It's sort of looking up, saying, I'm watching you. Don't even try to take over my place. So that's what the energy of the rooster is. We also see the house in the background, and the house is very hazy. So if you are drawn to the house does represent a stable environment and a stable home, and shows that energy will be coming into your life in 2015, especially over the next month too. It's a focus on making the house more solid, stable. That's renovation, but also moving house. It may have that energy for you where you're being pushed energy-wise to move into something bigger, or even smaller if you wanted to downscale and live a little bit more minimalistically. But all in all, it's making your home environment feel a lot more stable, whether it be within yourself or financially. It's a very positive thing. The house, this sort of barn, isn't a bashed up, dilapidated, ugly thing. It's just a solid foundation, and it is like it's the hen house kind of thing. But the fact of the matter is, it is still a shelter, basically, and a very sound and solid shelter at that. If you're drawn to the blue sky above, there's good things about that. The blue sky is one of communication, and barriers being blown down and blown apart with other people who have been a little bit difficult in your life with closing off. If you've been dealing with teenagers in your life who have been bratty or annoying or closed off, that they're this ridiculous attitude that goes on sometimes, then you may be let into their life a little bit more, which is good. So really take advantage of that and try not to be picky, naggy or judgmental about that. And I know that's very hard because often they create an environment where we expect them to be moody and to be this and that, and we sort of approach these situations expecting this of them. So this is a time to stand back and appreciate those things that they're doing, even though it's really hard not to, because often they can be up and down and it's like, God help me. So really just try and slow down, not sort of jump the gun, no knee-jerk reactions, just try and appreciate, when they are trying to reach out to us. Fingers crossed. That said, the beautiful greenery underneath the fox's feet, it's rich, and it is also transitional too. We see the colours changing on these leaves, but it's still green, so there's incredible growth to be had there, and it's under the foot. So this shows very forward moving energy, so expect a lot of opportunities in regards to spiritual development. So if you're doing classes in spiritual development over the next month, this is an excellent idea if given that opportunity. If it comes to career and you have opportunities to do further studies or do a course that will enhance that, do that. This is one of moving forward and thriving. And that is a really positive aspect to it. If you're drawn to the fence is one of barriers, and just being a little bit cautious about who you let in and who stays out. And the fence is not this crazy fortress fence. It's sort of a flimsy kind of one, but still like strong enough that things can't come bounding through it. So it's sort of just keeping that guard up a little bit of yourself, and then just letting somebody climb over it if you feel that they deserve to or are worthy to. And that's it, this week's reading. A lot of people are drawn to different aspects of the cards, and sometimes aspects that I don't even see in the cards. So if you do see something that you're drawn to in this card, feel free absolutely to mention it to me, and I can absolutely tell you the interpretation of that. Sometimes I miss it. For example, last week we had the card of the birds, and amazingly enough, the bird at the top does reveal an Indian chief, the wing being out. It is mind-blowing. I never noticed that, and it's those little things that we can help really focus in on, grow when we're doing the cards interpretations. So they're the feelings that I have for the card, and the meanings for it for you and whatever you're drawn to in it. So thank you so much for tuning in this week for your lovely one card of the week. Don't forget to stay tuned for next week's card, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't know what it is yet. I mean, I could, but I haven't picked it yet. So thank you so much for listening and joining up to the VIP mailing list, and also the Facebook group, which is officially now Christine Louise Official. So jump onto that, because there's often free readings given away on that page that are exclusive to the VIP list. And that's about it. And if you do want a private reading, all you need to do is jump over to that page too and purchase one. And they range from like something like $30 to $80. It's incredibly affordable. So that's it. Thank you so much again for listening. Until next time, have a magical day. Until next week.